I found my box of pony beads. I have quite a few in here. So this time I'm going to make this bag. I do not have 40, let's see, 32 pony beads like it shows across the top here. I have 24. So what I'm going to do is stagger them a little bit further apart so I can use the 24. And instead of doing it with black and red, I decided I wanted to do it in pink and purple. So the red is pink and the black is now going to be the purple. I've already done the first 10 rows. Now the first 5 is regular, and then you can see better on here, 1 roll of pearl. That's the one that folds it to make your bottom flat. Then 2 rows of purple or black, and then I go up to this part here. And according to the directions, I got to do 13 rolls. Let me enlarge this. Rows 9 to 13 in the black, or in this case, the pink. I think I'm going to change it. Instead of saying the actual colors, I'm going to say main color and contrasting color. That way, whatever color you wish to do, it can be done and a little bit easier to read. And then I drop, in this case, the pink, and I pick up the purple, and I'll do a couple of rows in purple, and I'll just go all the way down. And then when I get into row 34, it's the first row of beads, and I'll show how I put the beads on the bag. And then we get down to the bottom. I found out that I accidentally knitted all these rolls, which made the top curl, which normally happens with stockinette. But when I did that and I felted it, it made a band across the top, kind of like a beaded, like an I-cord top, which was really neat, and it matched the handle. So I'm putting a note here, if you want it to have a rolled edge, you knit rounds 2 and 4 instead of purling. Oh, I need to correct that. It's purl 1 and purl 3, so I need to change this to 1 and 3. I'm doing each of the patterns in this thing here so we can see if I need to make any other adjustments as I go. Like I said, I can't do this with the 32, I'm doing it with 24, but it's the same difference either way you do it. And then I would either do this bag, which is a little different, this bag, which is a little different, or this one where we got graduated colors. I may or may not do the pony bead butterfly. And then of course this one where the pony beads are in a different location. But I need to do each bag because of the handles, and also I'm going to add a little snap flap. By the time I get this one done, I should be able to figure out how to put a snap flap to hold it together, and also maybe find a way to make the sides poke in a little bit so it's more squared off instead of the way the bumblebee one did. It's been since 2005 since I've done these bags, so a lot of the memory of it is no longer there. So I'm kind of learning as I go, and as I find a mistake, I'm making the corrections. So I'll keep you posted. Right now I'm finishing up the 13 rolls to here, and then I have to do 2 rows of purple. Once I get the 2 rows of purple in, what I'll do is I will finish off the purple, because I don't want to carry that purple all the way up all these rolls on the back. I like to leave this nice and smooth and pick the purple up again here with the black, or where the black line is. When you felt it, none of it will show, but sometimes you can see the color peeking through as you go up the opposing colors. So that's the reason why I'm going to cut it. I will bring home the bumblebee bag and show you where in a few cases the black is poking through on the yellow. And then you'll see the reason why I want to do this whole section without any contrasting colors showing through the back. When I get to the second bunch of purple, we'll come back and see what I do next. Okay, I'm just finishing up row 13. Now this is where I switch to the other color. So I slide my marker over. Your marker can be anything. And you want to make the new color go underneath the old color. So you just swap them around. If I can pick it up. There it is. So now when you start knitting, it will be over. It will wrap around the original color like that. So I usually knit the first one, insert the needle in the second one, and then I pull this tight because you want to make sure that's tight, and definitely make sure the last stitch from the other color is tight. Otherwise these get really, really loose. So now we're going to knit 2 around, and then we'll be back to switching back to the other color. Okay, I am now finishing up the second roll of the purple, and I'm going to go back to the pink. However, I don't want to carry this purple for that long of a distance. So what I will do is cut it, leave myself a decent sized tail so I could weave it in later. Slide my marker, and when I get ready to do that one, I want to make sure this is snug. Pull it over and bring this one up and knit. Okay, now at this point, what I like to do is secure it. So let me turn it over. I'll enlarge it. Okay, and you can see here's the pink right here. I want to pull a little bit tight. You want to make it tight just like you've seen it do. And then, of course, you want to make sure that one is snug, which it is. And I always like to do a square knot. This way, when you go to felt it, you don't have to worry about it coming undone. Well, you're also going to weave it in. That'll help too. But I always like to do a square knot. Right over left and left over right. And pull it tight. Now you don't have to worry about this yarn coming unknitted from here or unknitted from there. And all your stitches are still staying nice and even. And you can see where the purple went up the back here. And the pink went up the back of this purple. Now at this point I'm going to do, I think it's 20, 30 rolls of this color. So when I get to that part, then we'll reattach the purple and we'll keep going. Okay, I've done all the way up through 30. Let me enlarge this. There we go. I've done all the way up through 30. I'm going to drop the pink, no, it's not black, and then pick up the purple. And it says to knit each round, so well, I've already done that. Okay, so 31, drop the red, or in this case the pink, and pick up the black, which is the purple, and knit around 1 round. Okay, so here's, I have 2 left of the pink. Okay, and bring my marker over. All right, so grab the purple, leave a tail, and start knitting. After you get 2 or 3 knitted, you can let go. So see, now it's right there. Now what I do, I don't finish it off, but I just once, just go like this. Kind of helps hold it in place because you want it to stay put. You don't want any of these stitches to get longer or shorter, tighter or looser, because it may affect the overall felting in that one little spot. So at this point, you're going to knit around 1 round. Then after you go around 1, excuse me, you're going to drop the purple and pick up the pink again and do 2 rounds, and then we're going to do the bead round. So when we get ready to do the bead round, then I'll show you how to do that. I don't think I have enough yarn to do that, so I'll go ahead and just stop at this point, go pick up some more yarn tomorrow morning, and we will continue where we left off. Okay, I'm just about finished with this round of purple. I do have enough pink left. Maybe I can get a couple rounds done in pink. So let's go ahead and switch colors. So we finished the last 3. Slide your marker. I always put my needle in the next one. It kind of helps hold it. And you want to make sure all the yarns are tight. See how that tightened up? Okay, and then you put the purple over top because you want to make sure the purple's over top so the pink can go over and kind of wrap it around. So we do a pink one. Okay, now we can look and see. see we already tightened the pink one earlier, and we just tightened the purple one. So what we can do now is, I just put one more loop in that to hold it in place. And then we just continue on around. We didn't have a pink to tie it to because the pink just went from here up to here. And it says to knit 2 rounds of pink, and then the next round we'll have the pony beads on them. I have the pony beads right here. We'll just see how far we get. Okay, I don't have enough beads to do 32. I've only got 24 beads, so instead I'm going to do it like this, where it's just 1 roll of beads. After, I knitted 2 rolls, I'll do a roll of beads, and then I'll knit 2 rolls. But I don't have enough yarn to do it. But I can get it started and show you how the beads go on. I'll grab a couple. There, we got a few out. And you got to have a size 0 crochet hook, which is very tiny. It has to be able to fit through that hole while carrying yarn at the same time. All right, so let's set this aside. Okay, bead round number 1. Knit 4, slide next stitch off the left needle. So let's knit 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then it says slide next stitch off the needle and use crochet hook to pull stitch through the bead, then slip the stitch back on. Okay, so I take this one off, put a bead over the crochet hook. Oh, no, I gotta do the crochet, put the bead on the crochet hook, then put the yarn on and pull the bead through the yarn, and then put the yarn back over, and then knit. Okay, now we do another one. Okay, there, and that puts it in place. All right, so now it says to repeat around. So knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, place a pony bead on your needle, pull it off your left hook, put it through the bead, and then put the yarn back on the needle and knit it. And you just keep doing that all the way around. I gotta fix that one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the pony bead on the needle hook, pull the yarn off the needle, and pull all the way through the pony bead. You can always see if a bigger hook works for you, because you can use a bigger one, like maybe a B, or maybe a 2. And just keep repeating this all the way around. But you can see how the beads wind up in their spot. And just keep repeating around. And once you have your round of beads, since I'm not going to do the other rounds, I'm just going to go make 2 more rounds of the red, and then drop the red and start doing the purple again to finish the handle and the top of the bag. All right, I went ahead and did rounds 35 and 36, which is red in this case. It's the pink. I did find some more beads. These are just a little different coloration than these. Not much. But I thought I'd go ahead and do like one of these and then one of the originals. Let me go get them. As you can see, the originals are just a little darker than the newer ones, so I'm going to like do maybe 2 of those, then 1 of those, and 2 of them in one. That way I'm going to stagger these throughout on the second round. Okay, I've just about finished round 36. 2, 3. Okay, now I have to bring the purple underneath. That way it's twisted this way. So I got to, according to the directions, I got to knit 2. See, I'm on the back now. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, knit 2, add a bead in the same manner as round 1 and repeat it. So knit 2, and then after that it'll be knit 4. So let me grab one of the beads, pick up the yarn, put the bead on the yarn, put the yarn back on, and I found knitting through the back seems to work better for me. Whoops, wrong color. Gonna make sure I get the pink. Oh, gotta wrap the pink around the purple. Sometimes you gotta stop and look before you actually start knitting. Okay, so now the pink is around the purple. All right, so now I knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see it's a little different in color, not a whole heck of a lot, but if I kind of rotate them, then it's like 1 on, 1 off, or 1 on, 2 off. Excuse me. Okay, so now we've finished that one. Now we're knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this time I'll put one of the good ones on. So I grab, here's a good one. Pick up the yarn, put the bead over the yarn, put the yarn back. And like I said, I like to knit in the back. It seems to work better for me. But you can knit in the front if you like. I need to pull some more yarn out. Okay, so now I knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now get one of the newer beads. Put it on. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, get another new bead. As long as I keep repeating it 2, 1, 2, 1, then this second row won't look that bad. I do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I've picked up a bug or something. Okay, so I did 2 of the new ones, and here's one of the old ones, and I gotta do another one of the old ones. Oh. Oh, this one doesn't count as one of the 4. We count 4 after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and repeat these all the way around, and then it says after you do that, you knit rounds 38 and 39. So I'm going to go ahead and do 38 and 39 because it's just basic stockinette like this. Then I'll come back and we're going to start working on the handle and the band part. Just remember, when you get back around to the beginning, you twist your pink and purple so that way they're intertwined. And then after we do the last 2 pink, we can actually cut the pink off because the rest of it will be all the black, or in this case, the purple. Looks like I'm down to 2. Now I've noticed that if I do a second round up here, it makes it too high up compared to how low this one is. So I'm just only going to do 1 round instead of 2. I made the correction here, just round 38. So 39 and 44 will be the black. Okay, so I slip this over. I go ahead and slip it on the next stitch, Now, since I won't be using this anymore, I'm going to trim it off. Now bring the purple up underneath. And now I'm going to knit around. I'm not going to worry too much about this one yet. I really should have been more careful here. Let me go back. I forgot to pull. Okay, I've done the one, so now you want to pull just to make sure it's nice and snug, which it is. And you want to pull this one to make sure it's nice and snug. Now if you want, you can put one loop in just to kind of like hold it for you. Being 100% wool, that little stitch will hold. Now I'm going to just do one around for now. I know I got to do 5, but I just want to see how it lines up. And I think it lines up pretty good because it looks like there's like one under here, and with this one being here, it looks like almost we have 2 up there because this one is on that one. But when it all felts down, it won't show. But I just decided it would look better if I didn't do that 2 up here. I just did the 1. All right, I'll go ahead and go around for to round 44, and then I'll come back and then we'll talk about this area. Okay, I've completed 44 rounds, and now we're going to do the part that includes the handle. Now, what is normally done is you knit a purl around, knit around, purl around, knit around, and that makes a garter stitch when you're working in the round. And if you did it that way, the top of the bag would lay flat. And I found by accident the other day, I knitted all of the rounds, and by knitting all the rounds, I had like an I-cord coil, you might say, around the top edge, which really looked nice. So I'm going to do it again with this one. I'm going to knit all 3 of these rounds, and it even says right here, actually knit rounds 1 and 2 is 2 and 4, which is wrong. It should be knit rounds 1 and 3. I think I've already made the correction, but I'll do that. See, draw 2 strands on, 1 strand of black. Okay, this one is where you could add a sport weight wool and it's some kind of a novelty yarn that has sparkles or fuzz or something like that. So it would be 2 strands to get the thickness that's necessary. You want to make sure the 1 strand, even says sport weight, is 100% wool that will felt. Because if it doesn't felt, then you have a wide, floppy top. Now the novelty yarn most likely will not felt, so it'll still give it a little different look, but at least it'll be firm. So that's what that stands for. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and knit the first 3 rounds, and then I'm going to come back to here. Okay, be right back. All right, I've done the first 3 rounds, and like I said, I did them all in stockinette because I wanted to roll. So now I'm going to start the handle part. The bottom one, the bottom half is you do the bind offs. The bind offs is what gives you this part here, and then on the next row you do the cast ons, and then that's what gives you the handle. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, it says to knit 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I've got my 12. Now it says to bind off 16. I need to get some more yarn here. Okay. Here's 1. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, there's 16 bind offs. Okay, now we're going to knit 24. I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole thing around on camera. I'll go ahead and pause it. But you knit the 24, then bind off 16 more, and then you knit 12. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Now I've completely gone around, so now we're getting ready to start this one. Now this is where we do the cast-ons to make the handle. So first we have to knit 12, just like we did before. Well, we know we don't have to count because we know the 12 is going to stop right here because that's where the bind offs began. Now 3 more stitches. Okay, so now we're going to do the cast-ons. I like to do a cable cast-on, so I have to turn my work around. And you start like you're going to knit. So you go in the front of the first stitch, yarn over, bring it through, and then rotate and go in the back. So that's 1. I'm going to put a little marker so I can keep track, because I may not be able to keep counting while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to stick this little marker here. So then I know there's 1. And then you go in the stitch you just made, yarn over, rotate your work, put your needle in the back, pull it, so that's 2. And you do it again, 3, 4, 5. There's several different ways to do a cast on. I just like doing this one because it gives me a nice bottom here. 6, 7. Now you don't have to take the needle out, you can just rotate it to the other side. If you want, you can actually take it out like that. Then reinsert your needle. You can do it that way, or you can leave it in. After you do this, just rotate it to the back and keep on going. It helps with time management. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're almost there. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, we got to do 10 more. It's 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, almost there. 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so now I have my 30 stitches on, which makes my handle. Turn your work back around. And now we're going to knit 24, and then we'll cast on 30 and knit 12, just like we did the last time. I said I won't bore you with watching me do all this, because you've just seen me do it. So you knit 24, then you cast on 30, and then knit 12. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, there's the handle. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, it looks like I'm off by 1. But it doesn't really make a lot of difference, because when you felt it, it just all blends in together. You don't even notice you got one more stitch or one less stitch. Okay, so you've got your 24. Now we're going to cast on 30. So you turn your work around again. And you do the cast on again, where you insert your needle, yarn over, rotate, and go in the back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and finish this last of the cast-ons and the 12, and then after that we knit around and then we bind off. All right, I've finished round 6, which is all knit. So now I'm going to bind off, and then this part will be done. Then it'll be time to sew the bottom together. And I'll take a measurement this time, so we'll be able to see the original size and then afterwards the felting size. So to bind off, you knit 2, put the first one over the second one. And you do it again, knit 1, first one over second one. Do it again, first one over second one. And you repeat this all the way around. What that does, as you can see, it binds off and makes you a nice loose top, because you want to make it loose. You don't want it to be tight, because the whole bag itself is loose. Let me move some more stitches over. I have a lot of stitches on the needles now. Now the first one I did, the bumblebee purse, I did on a size 13 needle, so everything was smaller. This one I did on the 15 like the pattern specified, and it's a really big purse, but it will felt down to about half. So like I said, we'll get a measurement of before and then we'll get a measurement after. But this is how you bind off, and you do it all the way around. So I'll be back as soon as I get the rest of these bound off. And as you can see, I got a long way to go. I'm down to my last 4 bind off stitches. Sometimes they cooperate and sometimes they don't. Okay. And then we trim it off. Now I also found out that it leaves a little bit of a gap. Let me get this out of the way. A little bit of a gap where you start and finish. So what I like to do is take a needle, doesn't matter what size. I can get it through, and I do like a figure 8. I'll go through this one, come back over and go through this one, and go back and do this one again. That brings it together. Now there's this little spot here, but that will felt out when it felts. So you don't have to do anything elaborate or fancy, just weave your tail in. Now all the other ones you have in here, you can weave all these tails in too. But right now we're going to do the bottom. Got to turn it inside out. Because if you go to the last page, if I can find it. Here it is. You sew the bottom together. You find your halfway point because you definitely want to have your handles line up. So there's the halfway point. This one's easy because that's where all the joins are. And then you want to get some more yarn and whip stitch the bottom together. Then after we do that, we do like this, and we do a dog ear and we sew across the dog ear. This is a good place to sew right along this line. When we get to that point, we'll do that. But for now, I'm just going to whip stitch this together with some pink yarn. I've just about got it all whip stitched together. I just have a little bit left. You just do it loosely. You don't want to pull it tight. There we go. Then after you do that, you want to fold it this way and make a dog ear because you want to sew right through here, and that boxes it off. So let's take this down here like that. There's no need to finish it off because the felting would finish everything off for you. So you just do a running stitch along the bottom. There. And then I'll just go ahead and go back this way. There. So that's one boxed corner done. Now we're going to do one more corner. Get a little bit of yarn. Same thing. Lay it flat. Want to make sure it's even. You don't want it to go like this. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. The seam is right through the center. Then you run your needle through and just do it like it did before, just a running stitch. Leave a tail because we got to weave that tail in. There. Now we'll go ahead and weave this in. Oh, I didn't make myself a very big tail on this side. So what I'll do is I'll get it woven in first, and then thread the needle. Can't get it to thread. There. And then you can pull the needle through. I still got to weave all these tails in, but I just want to show you. And once you felt the bag, then you cut this dog ear off. Let me turn it right side out now. Let me get that down as far as I can get it, and you can see it makes a nice boxed corner. So that'd be the bottom of your purse. One on both sides, and of course the handles are up here, and you can see how this rolls. That's what it's going to do when it felts. It's going to make a nice rolled edge, just like the handles. So it'll all be one continuous rolled edge. Now let's get a measurement. This way we can see the before and after. Before is roughly 14 inches across, And this is roughly, I can get it to lay flat. Well, just about 12. So it's 14 by 12. So we got to keep that in mind. So now I'm going to go ahead and give it, get it felted. And then we'll go to the next step. On this one, I want to try something different. I like to make a tab that can come over from the one side to the other. I decided to do the tab in the contrasting color. So what I did was I cast on 8 because this thing was 20, so I made it about halfway. So I cast it on 8 and I knitted 20 rolls. Now we'll see how good this is. Now I don't want to sew it. Let me turn it over. I don't want to sew it to the very edge because I want the edge to roll. So I'm going to take it back. Let's see, got to center it. Take it back a couple of rolls. And then whip stitch. This is all new. I don't know. I've never done this before. So we'll see what this does. And then whip stitch it together. See, okay, right here. Sometimes it's hard to get the right one, but when it all felts together. One more right there. Okay. Now I will just weave this back in because when it felts, it all felts together. There. There's scissors here. Don't know where the scissors went. Oh, here they are. So now when this will roll over to make the rolled edge, and this will come over like this. Now it might be too long, I don't know. This is my first try. And if you look at the back side, the rolled edge is still going to be here, and then this is going to be on the inside of the rolled edge, because I really like that rolled edge look, because then this is rolled and that's rolled and this will be rolled. So let's get it felted, and when we felt it, we'll see how it looks. Now, if this is too long, since it's going to be felted, you can actually take a pair of scissors and trim off what you don't want. But I'm hoping that after I know this is 20, we can be able to count how many rolls it is, or give or take, and then we'll know whether it's actually supposed to be 16 rolls instead of 20. Okay, I felted this down twice in my washer. Unfortunately, my washer just does not felt too well. I've done it twice so far. It's definitely, the purple felted beautifully, but this color didn't. So I'm thinking that's one of the colors like the yellow that just doesn't felt down as well as some of the darker colors. I added this tab. I thought it'd be neat to have a tab to hold the purse together. I didn't know how long to make it, so I made it extra long. So I'm still debating on how I'm going to finish that. But as you can see, overall it's felted really well. And it's still a little bit damp because it just came out of the washer. Let's get a measurement. The last one I think was 14 across. So it went from 14, well this only went down to 13. And this was 12 down to 9.5. So it shrunk more this way than this way. But I think I'd rather have a tote a little bit bigger than a tote being a little bit smaller. So that's something you can work with if you liked it, but you didn't want it this wide. You can always do cast on 70, which will take it down to here versus casting on 80. So it's your option. I'm still working on getting the pattern out. Hopefully, today is February 20th, I think, of 2025. Hopefully I'll have the pattern on Ravelry and my website within the next week or so. So if you're looking at this video in April, May, or June, though, obviously the pattern is already out. But right now, as of February the 20th, it's not out. But you can always look at the count of the pictures that I have on the YouTube video to get a kind of an idea of how much to do. I still need to tweak this one a little bit. I'm not sure how, because it's already been felted down. It looks like one handle is longer than the other. This I still have to figure out. If I do figure it out, I'll make a quickie short on what I did. But if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my YouTube videos. Hit notifications so the next time a new one comes out, you'll be one of the first to see it. And please share it with your friends. Thank you.